Okay, welcome back everybody. This is my sixth retro review. This series of videos explores things before modern times. This video is about Disney things. I actually have a lot of Disney things that we've collected throughout the years that are old, way before I was even born. Um, so this is one of many Disney themed ones. So in the top right corner is Walt Disney World 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea game, and that came out in 1975. It's a board game. And in the yellow fine print below that says, "Race your Nautilus to safety past the moving gunboats." Then to the left of that is another board game. It's from 1956. It is Walt Disney's Tomorrowland Rocket to the Moon game. And like I said, that's a board game as well. Then in the middle row is just one trading pin. That is from an attraction which is no longer there. It is Horizons. Horizons was opened October 1st, 1983 and closed January 9th, 1999. So that trading pin was from a character in that ride. Then on the bottom row, on the left, starting from the left, is a World of Motion pamphlet guidebook. So World of Motion is also another extinct attraction that's no longer there. World of Motion opened its doors on October 1st, 1982 and closed its doors on January 2nd, 1996. So it didn't exactly live as long as Horizons. Then in the middle is a Your Guide to Disneyland 1978, which is really old. Probably one that, well, that's from California Disneyland. And finally, to the right of that, the last thing, this is very interesting actually. You may notice it says Disney Visa down at the bottom corner of that thing. Well, this is like one of those things that you get at a restaurant that has your check in it, like a checkbook, whatever. I don't know what they actually call it, like professional terms. But I'm basically adding that as a retro thing because so many things have gotten electronic nowadays, and usually people pay on, like, they have tablets and iPads in like restaurants now that you pay on. But yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, coming in first is this Walt Disney's Tomorrowland Rocket to the Moon game from 1956. Now, since this is a board game, I can't exactly fit this on the table and show everything. I mean, I could, but it's just kind of hard to do. So I'm going to show it right here on the floor. So, the box has been through a whole lot, as you can see. It's an original game from 1956. This is original. And then right there in cursive says Parker Brothers, Salem, Massachusetts, New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Atlanta, and made in the USA. And then this guy has a megaphone saying that says next rocket flight in 5 minutes. So back in the 50s, as you see in a lot of cartoons, and how Disney projected the future, is that we'd all be taking rocket flights just every 5 minutes in the future. But yeah, so I'm going to kind of turn this box around so you can kind of see. It says Walt Disney's Tomorrowland Rocket to the Moon game on the side. This flap is trying to come off the box. Then on the side is another kind of logo that's seen better days. And then, of course, that side has the exact same logo as the front. And then, same thing for this side. That's how it looks. Now, is there anything written on the bottom? No, it's a complete blank bottom. So, inside, let me take this lid off here without destroying the box any more than it already has been. There we go. So there's the lid. So here's the instructions. Now, of course, I'm not going to take time to read the entire instructions on this lid. It'll take too long. However, I can say this is a fun game. It's really fun to play. But yeah, it says for 2, 3, or 4 players. And the idea, I'll read just the introduction. It says, each player is the owner of a rocket ship designed to reach the moon. In order to launch the rockets, players must first reach the rocket launching platform. Then each player is given a chance to show how well this rocket is made by trying to fly to the moon. Okay, pretty simple. Now, one thing I will say is that we have the pieces, but they are misplaced from the box. I don't exactly know where they are. I do know we have them because we played the game before. They look kind of like Mentos. They're like these little tiny, like little round Mentos bottle cap looking things. Anyways, here's the board. It's got this nice little sticker here. It says Walt Disney's Tomorrowland's Rocket to the Moon game. Basically looks exactly the same as the front of the box. Now here's the board. Open it up. This is how the board looks. If anybody's seen the Tomorrowland cartoon that used to come on, I think the World of Disney, and it was Walt Disney hosting it, and they had Von Braun, everybody on there talking about, you know, different space endeavors that may happen in the near future. Well, this kind of built upon that, and also just the Tomorrowland area in Disneyland. Yeah, because 1956. Yeah, that's right. So as you can see, you have this path that the rockets take, and there's different spaces. Like this one says, "Watch the rockets racing. Forfeit your next turn." Then you have this one right there says, "Move it once to Science Hall." Where is Science Hall at? Science Hall is right there. That's Science Hall. And you start right there. Pretty nice artwork on here. And then you got here to the very end, right here, it says, "Rocket launching platform. Launch ship at once." And so I guess you'd flick it, or you'd, you know, push it along, and you would try as the goal to land inside the moon and score 100 points. But if you didn't, if you landed on that line, you score 75 points. Inside outer circle, score 50 points. If you land on this line, score 25 points. This planet is 15 points. Saturn, well, I guess it's Saturn, is 10 points. This planet is 5 points, and that planet is 20 points. So yes, very fun to play. And it's also, I like the 50s view of the future. It's like the Jetsons, or the Tomorrowland show that Disney used to have, which is not really any relation to the Tomorrowland movie that came out a few years ago. But yeah, that's the board. So let's show this. This is, you didn't have a dice in this game. You had this spinner. This spinner is kind of like the dice of the whole game. You spin it, and it would land like on 5 or 4 or 1, and you'd move your little Mentos bottle cap piece that number of spaces on the board. So it's just cardboard and a metal, looks like a clock hand almost. That's that. So and then you have some pieces of cardboard like this, and they would, let me just show the lid of the box. They would line the board like this, so you could shoot it and bake it off the very back here and try to land right in the center. Also, so your piece wouldn't go flying across the table and off to who knows where. But yeah, pretty interesting. Oh, here's pretty cool. The Tomorrowland game is one of a series of 4 Disneyland games. Frontierland, Adventureland, and Fantasyland are the other games in this series which you will enjoy. Questions on Tomorrowland game will be gladly answered by Parker Brothers, Inc., Salem, Massachusetts, if a 3-cent stamp is enclosed. Well, I wonder if I can still ask some questions. But, yeah, more cardboard. Here's like, I don't even know what that even is. It opens up, I think. Lovely old Disney game. Enjoy. Oh, this must have been, whoops, can't show that. This must have been when we ordered it. Yeah, the address is below my hand. This must have been when we ordered it. The person who sent it to us, I guess FB, they wrote us a note. Let's see. I guess this is the envelope that note came in. Pretty cool. So, I guess on to the next product. Okay, this is another board game here, so it'll be on the floor. This is the 1975 Walt Disney World 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea game. And like I said, it says race your Nautilus to safety past the moving gunboats. Now, this, when we ordered it, was only missing one little piece. But other than that, my brother and I have played it. The 4 of us have played it. It's a really fun game. It doesn't last too long, not too hard to play. And so, here's the lid of the box. It's still in pretty nice condition. Kind of worn a little bit. I don't know why that's there. Kind of worn. But up here it says ages 5 to adult in the top corner. Then let's see. Here's the side. 2 kids playing the game, demonstrating it. Looks like they just printed the same picture on all 4 sides of the box. Yep, all 4 sides. And one more. There we go. Back to the beginning. And let's see on the bottom. Aha. So we have a black and white picture of the game being of the game set up and somebody playing it. And it says players race their Nautilus from start to home port. Land on a wheel and you control the gunboats. Rotate the gunboats to sink an opponent. Be the first player to sail the Nautilus to home port and win the game. Every player is Captain Nemo in this exciting dimensional action game. Children and adults will enjoy the random movement of the cruising gunboats in a game inspired by the famous 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride at Walt Disney World. A suspenseful race for 2 to 4 players. Suggested for ages 5 to adult. Full instructions inside. Partial assembly required. There, 1975, right there, in the very corner. So let's open this up and see how it looks. There used to be a 20,000 Leagues ride in Disney World and Disneyland. Well, actually, in Disney World here in Florida, it's now the whole area's been demolished. It's now the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train area. That's where the 20,000 Leagues ride used to be in Disney World here. And I think for a while they had maybe it was in Disneyland, California, they had Nemo Submarine Voyage or something like that. I can't keep it straight. But, okay. So, here's the pieces. We have this little, let me take this out here. We have this little, like a cap thing that goes right there. Lift this out of here because it lifts right out of the box. There we go. So yeah, this thing sits on the table just like this, and you can turn the center thing, and it turns this cardboard thing down below it. Now you set the gunboats on this cardboard, on these cardboard grooves. Let me get one out and I'll show you what happens, because it's actually a little more interesting than you think. So here's a gunboat. This is how it looks. It's got a blue top, and it's got a little gun here and a red base. And let's see, I think these things can come apart. Yep, that's right. They come apart like this, and you put them back together like this. Let's see. There we go. Back in. There we go. Now, so they all sit here, like on one of these grooves. So what's fun is that you can set it any way you want to. Actually, if you're playing the game, you set it in the middle to begin with. But since I'm demonstrating how it moves, it's kind of cool. Watch this. So you turn it, and it's random. You have no idea where the gun is going to be, which is really, really cool. And so each one of the slots do the same thing. Well, they don't move the same pattern. It's just that they make the boat move irregular. Then you have, different colors correspond to different starting areas. You have yellow, green, red, and blue up there. And so one thing that I was telling you that was missing is that we actually have all, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wait, 4, 8. You'll have 8, well, supposedly 8 gunboats. Except we have 7, and then we just have this. We just have like an extra one of these. Just a yellow part of a gun thing. So, you don't actually have to have all of them, all the gunboats to play. My brother and I have played just with 7, which is still pretty fun and the same challenge and everything. But that's all we're missing, and we actually were missing that when we ordered it. And then your game pieces are Nautiluses, and they're pretty cool because they look like, well, here's a red one. Look like that, like a small Nautilus. Look just like that. Whoops. And they come apart too. That's actually part of the game. You can either, if you play like this, if you're playing along like this, that means that your Nautilus is surfaced. If you play like this, means your Nautilus has gone under, like under the water. So that's a pretty cool aspect of the game there. Then, if you're submerged, then you use a black dice right here. This black dice right here. It has numbers 1 through 3 on it. But however, if you're risen to the surface of the water, you use a regular dice, regular white dice, numbers 1 through 6. Very fun game. It can be challenging. It's actually really fun. You got the same kind of Disney feel, 70s Disney feel. But yeah, interesting. Let me take it right here. For those of you also familiar with the movie, with Kirk Douglas, who plays Ned Land, and Peter Lorre is in the movie as well, and so is James Mason. He plays Captain Nemo. That came out in, I think, the 50s, I think. I have to double check that, but if you haven't seen that, I'd recommend giving it a watch. And on to the next object. Okay, here we have a small object. It's the trading pin, like I was talking to you about. So this trading pin is from a ride that is no longer there. And that ride is Horizons. Horizons is now, well, Horizons, the building is gone. Mission Space now occupies the land where Horizons was. So, a little bit about Horizons before I get into the pin. It was a ride that opened on October 1st, 1983, and closed January 9th, 1999. So, Horizons was sponsored by General Electric from 1983 to 1993. Anyway, so, well, if you've ridden Carousel of Progress, you don't know the people, like the family that they're following. Well, Horizons was a kind of unofficial sequel to Carousel of Progress. And it showed, like, life of the future. It showed an orange grove, like how we'd be harvesting plants. It showed how the future looked from the 50s. It showed, you know, all kinds of things. It was, like I said, an Omnimover dark ride. An Omnimover is kind of like Spaceship Earth, where it's like this continuous train looped together, and so it keeps going around and around and around the track. There's no brakes in the train. Anyways, though, this pin. So in one scene, you're riding by this butler. He's vacuuming the floor. This says Hidden Mickey Pin 5015. Pin trading. Disney, what's that? China. Disney made in China. Now, I don't know when exactly this pin was made. I'm sure it had to be made during the time of when Horizons was around. Now, I was born in 2003, so I just missed the closing of Horizons in 1999. And so I never actually got to ride it. However, I can tell you that I've seen a whole lot of videos and watched a lot of like documentaries and listened to the soundtrack. I can tell you it's probably one of my favorite rides, even though I never have ridden the ride. I don't know, it just seems so I don't know, 80s Epcot kind of style. I don't know what it is about it, it's just I like it. But yes, enough about Horizons right now. On to the next thing. Okay, next up is World of Motion, sponsored by General Motors. This is a 1989 souvenir guidebook. So, World of Motion was an attraction in Epcot, and it is now where Test Track is. They actually kept the same shape for the building of Test Track as they did World of Motion. It's the same, like, that big, like, cylindrical building. That's the same shape as World of Motion was. Whereas Horizons, the entire building was demolished and made way for Mission Space. But, so, World of Motion opened on October 1st, 1982, and closed January 2nd, 1996. Now, this showed the history of transportation from way back in the past to present day, and then how transportation may look in the future. So they gave this book out, and it showed all kinds of things. Let's see. Like I said, sponsored by General Motors. There are different scenes from it. They showed, you know, different. This is like some of the future cars that they may have had. There's like well, in 1989, they were predicting that a 2004 vehicle, Aero 2004, Ideas in Motion. I guess that was a car that they were predicting to have in the future. Then let's see. Then Pontiac, We Build Excitement. They have a bunch of car brands in here. GMC. The future of transportation is here. Let's see. Chevrolet. This is World of Motion here. Let's see, what else is there? There is GM, Teamwork and Technology for Today and Tomorrow. Let's see, there's some future prototype cars, concept cars, Oldsmobile, a Pontiac Stinger. I've heard about that car. A GM Sun Racer. These are all concept cars. None of them actually became, you know, real cars, or more than just models. There's different kinds of cars here. A Cadillac style car. Let's see. The World of Transportation Ideas for the 21st Century. A chameleon, a van wagon, Wilderbus, or Wilderbus, Hyperski. Let's see. Buick also got into the book here. Let's see. General Motors Milestones. Started way back in 1897 and then up to 1988, which makes sense because this book was made in 1989. Oldsmobile. And then finally the last page, a gift for you, with our compliments, a trip planner, and auto log, comparable rental value of $12.95, available at no charge to World of Motion visitors. So it's like, I guess, like a trip planner thing. Your complimentary trip planner and auto log is a lasting reminder of your visit to World of Motion. So you fold this out here. I guess you send this in like a business mail, business reply mail. Receive your complimentary gift. Mail this card for your gift. No, I doubt that's still valid. Now, here's the back of it. This is some scenes they showed. The first traffic jam, which makes sense because as soon as cars came along, there had to be a first traffic jam somewhere. Then you also, well, before cars, you had animal power replaces foot power. Keeping a watchful eye, like police officers watching out for everybody. Classic cars of the future. That car says just married. Age of flight begins. It's like flying airplanes and everything. A used chariot lot, whatever that means. Age of internal combustion engine. That's like when the combustion engine became a thing. So yes, this is interesting to see this here. Once again, I've seen a lot of videos, and I actually never did get to ride World of Motion, but I've seen a lot of videos and heard a lot of the music from it, and I have to say it's probably one of my favorite rides as well. Now, of course, I actually think I like Horizons. If I were able to ride both rides, I probably would like Horizons better than World of Motion, but not by much. See, back in the 80s, Epcot showed like a lot of like things in the future, which I got nothing against, you know, Test Track or whatnot, but Test Track doesn't actually show like how transportation evolved. You know, just kind of just a thing that comes and goes. But yes, on to the next thing. So this here is probably one of the most delicate things I've had to handle in this whole video. Your Guide to Disneyland, Summer of 1978. It's a guidebook, and it's from Disneyland, California. This came from my dad. My dad took a trip out to Disneyland in 1978. So we're going to look inside. Table of contents. You got your A, B, and C's of the ticket books. All Main Street USA, everything, free shows, everything. General information. These pages are yellowed and they're very, very delicate. I can tell by the way I'm turning the pages. Let's see. Park operating hours. You got pet care. Let's see how long the park stayed open in 78. Disneyland is open from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. from 6, which I guess is June 17th, 78 through September 9th, 78. Except June 22nd, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and September 5th through September 8th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. midnight. Or, yeah. Operating hours subject to change without notice. That's nice. Let's see. Let's see what else there is. A bunch of other stuff. Now, I know I don't want to look through the whole... Oh, here's a map. What I was going to say is that I will look through everything, but in order to get through at least one more thing in this video, I want to like take up a lot of time because my battery's almost about to die on my camera. Here's a map of the parking, and you know, like how to get in. Let's see. here is a map of just the entire park itself. You have what looks like, well, it's about, well, it's different than Magic Kingdom here in Florida. A little different. The maps have enlarged a little bit, which, I don't know, I guess a good thing and a bad thing, because you know a larger map means that it's a bigger thing to carry around in your pocket. However, I guess it'd be easier to see. Now, well, okay, there's Fantasyland's map. See, there's more detail now in maps today. That's just kind of like, so I just drew it on there, which I guess is, that's cool. You know, sometimes I feel like I put too much into the map because it's just distracting and hard to figure out where you're going. Here's Tomorrowland's map. This is in Disneyland, California, but so it's a little different than here in Magic Kingdom in Florida. But see, it's not as detailed as the newer maps are, which I guess could be a good thing or a bad thing. But that's cool. Now, if anybody wants to see me do a complete review on this, then please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll look through the whole thing. I guess on to the next thing.
Check, please.
Okay, so this is not as old as some of the other stuff I've looked at in this video. However, a lot of things have gone electronic now, so I guess this is kind of obsolete. This is like at a restaurant where you would get like your check, maybe like this little check booklet thing they have. Now, this came from the Disney park. I don't know what hotel or what restaurant it came from. But, so yeah, it's like they would hand you this thing and you open it up and your check would be in there somewhere. They accept, you know, Disney card and everything like that. And there's a paper here that says, "We're all ears. Are there any cast members who made your visit particularly magical?" And so you'd write down their name and what, and who, what, why, what, whatever. Other questions they could ask, things like that. And then, well, another thing is another paper here. Just kind of talking about, I guess, you know, we're often asked about gratitude. I can't say that. Like tips and whatnot, like giving tips. You know, different things that happen. Well, it says we are often asked about I can't say that word. No, the same word has been added to your bill. Quality service is customarily acknowledged by gratitude. I can't still the same word. Of 18% and 20%. Thank you. And in different languages, it has the same message. So yeah, this is kind of cool to have. It came from some thrift store in Orlando, I think. But yeah, it's kind of nice to have. So like we ever have company over and they eat a meal, we can hand them this so they can pay us back. No, we wouldn't do that. But looks like they have the Disney Visa. They accept that. It's like a nice kind of like puffy kind of feel to it. I don't know what, I guess leather or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, nice thing to sit on your table anywhere in the living room or kitchen or whatever. Nice thing just to have sitting up as a decoration. But yeah, I guess that about does it for this retro review. I like looking at old Disney stuff. Like I say, I have more Disney stuff that I have hiding around here somewhere. Other maps and tickets and things that I'll be sure to add to my next retro review that's Disney related. But I guess, take it away, Hayden. Have a great day. Be seeing you.